Welcome to Little Mama's Homestead. It's Christmas time and I am planting onion seeds. So the two varieties I am trying are a red burgundy onion and a Southport white globe onion. The red burgundy is a short day variety, so that will work in my area. And I'm not sure about this one. It says long day variety, and it also says a small intermediate day white pickling onion. So this one's going to be a little experiment to see how it turns out. I do have a lot more onions that I'm going to be starting than this. Be sure to stick around for the Healthy Mama tip at the end of the video. I have some coming from Dixondale Farm. It's a great way to do onions. They'll send them to me when they're small little starts late February, and I'll plant those out. That'll be perfect timing for us. But if I want to start from seed, I have to start around Christmas time. So I'm doing some experimentation. I've never started onions from seed, so we'll see how it goes. I have my 200 cell little tray here, so that's what I'm going to plant them in. I figure that's fine since the starts are so teeny. I'll plant them out late February. Right now it's mid to late December, so that will be about 8 weeks-ish. And so it says to plant them 1/4 inch deep, and I have my little seed starting tool here that will help me to make my little holes, and then I'll drop all the seeds in. So here we go. I am using a really fine, light soil for starting these onions. This is Facto Light. So I have all my seeds dropped into the holes, and I'm just going to gently cover them up, and then I'll water them a little bit. The soil's pretty moist. So a word on growing onions. If you've never had success, you probably didn't know that certain types of onions are better for growing in different areas of the United States. So they are daylight dependent, and so they won't bulb up properly unless they get enough daylight. And so if you're in the northern United States, you want to grow long day varieties because you have longer days in the summer. And if you're in the southern United States, you want to grow intermediate or short day varieties because they'll bulb up even though we have less daylight than the north in the summer. So that is a really helpful tip. And so what I'm going to do with this tray is keep it outside in the sun during the day, and then at night, if it's going to freeze, I'm going to bring it in the house. Since these are tiny seedlings, I don't want them to be frozen yet, and I want them to germinate, so I'm not so sure if they'll germinate if I keep them outside. It's been freezing overnight, so I don't want to keep them outside while they're trying to germinate the next few days. In some of these cells there's multiple onion seeds. Charles Dowding plants his this way, where he plants like 3 in one cell, so that when he actually plants them out, they're in a clump of 3, and they seem to grow just fine that way, and they still mature to a great decent size. And so I'm not worried about that, and in fact I'm happy it happened, because then I can experiment and see, did it work for me to do it in clumps just as well as single onions. So that'll be a interesting experiment. Dixondale Farms is the name of it. This is their catalog for this year. So the big key to growing onions is to understand that you have to choose the variety that's meant for your area, and this will be due to sunlight that you get in the summer. So obviously we talked about how the short day, it's this lower portion of the US, you're going to need the short day variety. You've also got intermediate and long day, and then there were some special varieties. There were leeks and shallots. So I don't know if you can see it on there, but it actually has the latitudes that these things grow best at. So very interesting with onions. And if you're not in the US, I guess you can use that latitude to help you can look at the latitudes, which will help you to choose what type of onion. I did kind of a big order this year because last year I did just like one sample pack, which turned out to be about 150 onions that I planted, and my soil was hot and they did not make it. I got some green onions out of it, basically, which was really disappointing. So this year I kind of went big, and as you may notice, I chose a lot of different varieties. Right now, I am kind of a beginner gardener in this area and to the south, and so I just wanted to try a whole bunch of different varieties to see what I like. You may notice that I cannot just, that's just me, I just cannot grow one type of okra or one type of beet or one type of bean. I just have to try a whole bunch. I don't know if I'll always be that way or if I'll find my favorites and stick to them, but I just really love trying out all the different varieties. So what I got is, the first type that I chose was Texas Legend. This one is supposed to get up to 6 inches, which is pretty big, like the bulb, like the onion is supposed to get 6 inches. So I chose it because of that, because it's a big onion. And I also chose it because in the description it really touted the health benefits. It says it continues to contain active compounds that provide health benefits and stimulate the immune system. So this type of onion can be grown in short day and intermediate if planted early. So that is the Texas Legend brand, or sorry, the Texas Legend variety. And that's an open pollinated variety. I really wanted to do all heirloom onions, but they didn't have a lot of heirloom onion options. They offer open pollinated, hybrid, and heirloom types of onions in their catalog here. So for short day varieties, I went with that Texas Legend. I did the Southern Belle, which is a hybrid. I did a half order with a friend on that one because it's a hybrid and I didn't want to love it. So we'll see. It says it has better uniformity, more disease and bolt resistance, and larger size potential than any other short day red variety. So I'll give it a try. And then I got the Red Creole, like makes me think of Louisiana, you know, Creole seasoning, whatever. So this is another short day variety. This is an heirloom, which is why I wanted to get it. It says it's our best short day storage onion, and the storage potential says 6 to 7 months. It has a Cajun type flavor, so it's a spicy onion. So I did a whole order of that because I like spice. Of course I did a whole order. So then I did I did Superstar, which is an intermediate day variety. I did a half order of this because it's a hybrid again. I didn't want to lean heavily into it, and I don't hope to love it because it's a hybrid, and I hope I can just check that off and not have to get it again. Because I want to grow all heirlooms and save seed and not have to order again, but that's my hope. So this one is a 4-inch size potential. It's widely adaptable. It grows well. Its dark colored foliage and shiny white bulbs make it an attractive onion to sell with the foliage still on. So I'll give that a try. Then I ordered the Candy, which they say is their best seller. It's an intermediate, it's a big onion, it gets up to that 6 inches, big onions. It says this onion will produce beyond your expectations. So that's a hybrid, unfortunately. I wish there were more heirlooms, but I'm sure that a lot of the heirlooms must be prone to disease and more difficult to grow, I'm guessing. I also did the red candy apple. This one has a 3-inch size potential. I did a half order of this one. It's another hybrid. It says it's a reliable red intermediate day onion. It can be pushed to grow larger with additional nitrogen. It contains a higher concentration of quercetins, an antioxidant compound that helps delay or slow damage to the cells and tissues of the body. So I thought, why not give it a try? And then I ordered leeks. I've tried to grow leeks in the past from seed, but I didn't know about the daylight or the time to plant them, and they didn't do well. They were also in my hot soil, so they didn't turn out for that reason as well. So I'm trying to do the leeks. Yeah, I've cooked with leeks a lot before. Soups and salads, roasting. You can, I imagine I can air fry them and kind of make them into a crispy topping. So, oh, and I also ordered one other one, and I ordered 2 of this one because I must have really liked it. So I think this was a special variety. Yeah, this was a unique variety. So this is the Oratana cipollini onion. This is an heirloom, so I ordered 2 of these. The storage potential is 5 months. The size potential is 3 inches. It says well-developed flavor and satiny skins. When cooked, they really sweeten up and caramelize to a beautiful color. So these will be great for cooking. It kind of has a flattened spherical shape, and it says they look like rosy bronze glossy buttons. So that's the one that I ordered 2 of because it's an heirloom and it'll work in my area. And so yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I have about 300 onions coming, and I think that'll be great. Will it be enough for a whole year? I don't know. So it's all an experiment, and I'm really excited to grow these. So I'll be planting these with you guys in February. Late February is when it's our time to plant onions here in North Carolina. Zone 7B just got reassigned to Zone 8, so I don't know, I think I'm gonna just claim 7B for the time being. I think, considering the subject of this video being onion planting and mushrooms, I am going to offer the tip of increasing the amount of onions and garlic in your diet. I'm taking an herbal medicine course right now, and we're talking about garlic. So I've always known garlic to be something that people consider a poor man's penicillin, and I really think that we could all benefit from eating several cloves of raw garlic a day. It's good for your heart, it's good for your immune system. If you are sick and you start taking raw garlic, you'll be doing better soon. That's all I can say. I have had mastitis several times before, and I just did this protocol at home, which included eating several raw cloves of garlic a day, and I have never had to go into the hospital or into the doctor to get antibiotics for it. I've just been able to heal at home, and it got better and better once I started implementing the protocol. And you know, obviously if you're doing something like that and it's just not getting better, you need to go into the doctor. But for me, I started implementing a few different things, and I just got better and better, so there was no need to go into the doctor. So poor man's penicillin. Eat your garlic and eat your onions. Onions are in the same family, and they're very good for a lot of the same reasons that garlic is good. Hey guys, so this is several weeks later. Sorry if the quality is bad, it's a windy day, but but I just wanted to show you the onions. I've already gotten them and planted them all into the garden, and so I just wanted to give you a little peek and see what they look like. So these were planted a few weeks ago, and they have started to grow. This is kind of the size they are. This one is a little stuck on its own skin. So this is kind of what they're doing right now. So I planted this entire bed chock full of onions, and it's probably 20 feet long or so. I should measure it, but this bed is probably about 20 feet long, and it's chock full of onions. And then I also planted them on this side, just on this very edge of the bed here, going all the way down, which is about 80 feet, I want to say. And then I planted them across the back of the garden too. I planted them this way so that it would sort of, the onions would sort of be a perimeter around the garden in hopes to deter some pests. So we will see how that goes. So my hope for this garden is for it to actually be symmetrical. So we have this 3 foot wide, really long bed all the way back, goes across the back. And then my hope is to create another bed that goes from back here all the way up along here. And in the future, I would like to plant that with onions, the whole perimeter. As it is this year, I planted this bed chock full of onions because I don't have the other one constructed yet. And then obviously this part of the garden is not complete. You can see that it's kind of an irregular shape. So it's got these two sides that are going to be kind of circular in the middle, and I'm going to have a special thing in the middle. I'm going to have a fountain and some different things. I'm going to do an arch trellis here. And so we just need to get some dirt over all this compost we've been putting in this area. So it'll look a lot better once we get all that dirt in and plant some things in there. So that's just a peek at what the garden is looking like in late February right now. It's mostly onions, spinach, garlic, radicchio. There's some beets here, some parsley over here, just some random different things that have survived the winter for us in zone 8A or 7B, whatever you want to say. So that's just a peek at my garden, what it is looking like right now and what is growing right now. I'm going to start planting a lot of seeds for the summer garden. I have the winter seeds already started, the cabbages and brassicas, and I will get you a look at those coming up in a video soon. But that is what the garden looks like in February. So there's not that much to harvest, but there's a lot coming. I also wanted to share with you guys, in this video, I know it's all about onions, but I wanted to share with you a little surprise, and that is, right here we have some asparagus that is already popping up late February. And this is actually the first one I found that wasn't frosted. When they get frosted, they are very mushy and not appetizing. And so this is my very first asparagus from this garden that is good and that's not frosted, and I am gonna try it raw. It's very flavorful. Wow, it's has a sweetness to it. It's very flavorful. In a way, it reminds me of a green bean, a fresh green bean from the garden. It's very good. Another thing I want to show you is those little onions that we planted from seed. So all the other onions in my garden were ordered, and they came in as little seedlings. So all those other onions that we planted from seed, I would probably not put them in those tiny cells again just because their roots went to the bottom right away, and I probably would grow them 3 in a clump like Charles Dowding does in little bigger containers so that they could last longer. I think the real issue is they just kind of ran out of nutrition in those trays because they were so tiny. But I will try again in the future, hopefully. And I just wanted to point out where I planted them in the garden. So they were kind of overgrowing their containers, and I didn't have grow lights yet, and so I just came and stuck them out in the garden. And I don't think a lot of them made it, but I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so the kitty wants to photobomb, but you can see right here is one of the tiny little onions that has survived. So I don't think we'll get much out of that. There's another one here, very tiny, that is surviving, so we'll see what happens with those. There's a few scattered throughout, so I'll be updating you. Hi guys, I was editing this video and I realized that it ended really abruptly, so I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and if you're a mama that has a desire to have a garden and you feel like it's just impossible, just know that little by little you can get a lot done. Working on it 20 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day most days will get you somewhere. I encourage you to start. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.